Welcome to another episode of Operation American Dream. I'm your host, Amy Scruggs. This is a show that really specializes in honoring this great nation of America and the men and women that fight for it and keep our freedoms. We've got an awesome episode today. We're going to be highlighting some great tips on home ownership, especially VA home ownership. So important that we get our veterans into housing and living their American dream. And we have also got a very special guest today that's going to share a heartwarming story about her journey and how she's taken it to serve this great nation as well. We're also going to talk about some family support services through the YMCA, and we're going to get the show started right now. Welcome back to Operation American Dream. VA homeownership is such an important topic that I can't talk about enough, and I think that there's always more information that you need to know, and veterans don't realize how much they have benefits to getting into home ownership. I've got an expert with me today, been a friend of mine for a long time, but really, truly a VA home loan expert, Jason Wood. Thank you for coming on today.
You bet, thank you.
I'm so excited. I've been wanting to have you on here for a while because you are so passionate about this. But first, I also want to say thank you for your service because you're an Air Force veteran.
Yes, absolutely.
So first of all, tell us a little bit about your service and where you were, and then I want to get into some great highlights. So
I was in the Nevada Air National Guard. And so born and raised in Reno, Nevada, and decided to go to school there and kind of follow my passion for the military, and my ultimate goal was to follow in the footsteps of Maverick and Top Gun, right? And to fly a fighter jet. And that didn't necessarily happen, but I was in the Air National Guard there, and it was really a neat experience. I served for 6 years and just met a lot of great people, and got to have that military experience, which was invaluable.
That's really awesome. And you also grew up in the real estate industry, didn't you?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you kind of know it in your DNA a little bit. Tell me a little bit about your upbringing.
So my dad was a realtor for, 37 years. So my whole childhood and everything, we're kind of involved in the real estate business. And it was never my intention to go into the real estate industry, but I kind of fell into it right after college and sparked a career. And here I am 16 years later, still doing it.
You clearly love it. I know that you love helping veterans. You have helped so many veterans get into houses over your career. How many years now have you been doing lending?
Been doing lending now for 16 years. I've helped a little over 1,100 people with home loans.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a huge number, just to kind of throw out there in casual conversation. You've helped 1,100 veterans with home ownership.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me what your passion is and what you see come up that veterans don't realize. What's the biggest misconception that you see that comes towards you?
I think the biggest misconception is really just fear that the VA loan is this hairy, scary beast. And really, it couldn't be more opposite than that. The VA loan is really designed to protect the veteran and protect the consumer. Mm-hmm. And so all these things that are built into it are to ensure that they don't get hurt by the loan, that they're able to buy a home that's not gonna drain them dry financially with issues and problems, and allow them to afford a mortgage that will still give them money to pay for the cable bill and groceries and things like that, and not make them mortgage poor. So the VA loan, on top of all the other fringe benefits, I think that those are some of the real true attributes to it that benefit the veteran in the long term.
And you help veterans that are, active duty, getting their first home, but you also specialize in veterans that are using their VA loan multiple times, right?
Right, yeah. So there's no limit to using your VA loan. So we have several clients that have a couple different homes, all with VA loans on them. And we have other clients that have just gone from home to home and always use their VA loan, but there's no limit to it.
Do you find that there's a lack of knowledge that they can use it more than once?
There is, yeah. There's definitely some misconceptions. And I think that part of it stems from there's just really, while you're in the military, there isn't any education on the VA home loan benefit. Typically that happens as you're exiting the military. Mm-hmm. So, one of the purposes and passions that I have is helping to educate active duty military, because it really is a phenomenal benefit. And while you're in service, you can really be gaining some wealth through real estate with this great loan program.
That's awesome. And I know you chose to be with BBMC Mortgage, and you've been there for a while. You're a branch manager, right?
Right.
So you're running a team, and you still help consumers get into houses. You're doing both, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so tell me, I know you guys are doing some amazing outreach things for the veterans through the company. Tell me some of the favorite things that you guys are doing.
So one of my favorite things that we do is called our Patriots Charity Initiative. So with every loan that we close, we donate $150 to one of 4 military charities. And the borrower directs where that money goes. It's our money. We started that in 2015, so just about 2 years now, we've donated $1.8 million between the 4 different charities.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. It's just our way of really giving back, to the community and showing our appreciation for, what the military community does.
What's your favorite client? What's your best moment?
My best moment is helping an active duty family buy their first home and realize that, the base housing and soaking up all their BAH really isn't the best path, right? And that they can really afford more than they think and utilize the government's tax-free money to start building wealth and create a home for their family.
Do you also love training your team? Do you bring in new loan officers that maybe don't know how to help the veteran and grow your team to have that awareness for VA homeownership? We
do, yeah. We do hire people brand new from the industry. We actually have a veteran transition program where we bring people from the military on an internship basis and teach them the business.
Yeah.
And then, at the end of the internship, if everyone decides that it's a go, then, we bring them on board and do that. And we have a guy in my office who's actually a West Point graduate, and he started at the very beginning of this year, and he's doing great, helping a lot of veterans and really doing a great job. So it is definitely a passion, and I love just helping lead them and build them into better advocates for the veteran home loans.
Jason, you're a true champion. Thank you so much for your service, for continuing to help veterans in employment and home ownership, and I'm so excited you got to be on today. Thank you so much.
You bet, thank you.
We'll be back with more Operation American Dream.
We have a winner! Johnny, you won! You won!
Grandma?
There are certain times in life when you need a neutral third party to call the shots.
I wasn't right. I know, but I wasn't right. I wasn't, you hear me?
Keep it fair. Choose Oakwood Escrow.
Welcome back to Operation American Dream. The YMCA Family Services is an outstanding program that is really making a difference in the military and their families. And I have got the director and a specialist in this category, Mr. Tim Ney. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having us, absolutely.
So first of all, tell me a little bit about your background and what brought you to the YMCA Family Services.
So I'm very fortunate to be here. I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years, a sergeant, United States Marine Corps.
Thank you for your service.
Absolutely. My family actually has a long history of service. My dad was in Vietnam for 3 years. My son is actually in Navy OCS right now.
Wow.
I'm going to graduate on October 27th, so we're really
proud dad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Absolutely, very, very excited. So we're a Navy Marine Corps family, and what better way to serve? I get to wake up every Monday morning and rush to work every single day and be a part of taking care of our service members and their families. It's exciting, and it's a wonderful experience.
So tell me what the difference is between the YMCA Family Services, or as people think of the Y.
Sure.
You know, so I'm sure there's a misconception of the two programs.
Absolutely, and we love our Y absolutely throughout the country. Armed Services YMCA actually started during the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln was our first donor. I like to joke about this, but we were recognized on the battlefield serving both sides with support, and that's when it all started. And actually, so Abraham Lincoln, first donor in San Diego here, 1920. So we have 13 branches across the country, 19 different affiliates were located, 33 affiliates were located in 19 different states.
Oh my goodness.
Exclusively providing services to service members and their families.
Wow, so you guys really are that specialty niche.
That's right.
That's incredible.
Absolutely.
What are some of the challenges? What are you guys seeing that you're focusing on to help the families?
Yeah, so some people may say, well, being a service member is pretty easy. You get a guaranteed paycheck and you in for a certain amount of time, but you and I both know there's separation from families, frequent deployments. A lot of our families are younger, so they're not accustomed to being transitioned and moving. As a matter of fact, a child may move between 4 to 9 times through their service member's career.
That's mind-boggling. I
It
can't imagine. I mean, my kids
actually.
would blow a gasket. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we like to say that the service member enlists, but the whole family serves, and our military spouses, they're so resilient, and the kids as well. The kids are also serving our country, and what is it like to be a military kid? You know, what's it like to be called a military brat and this sort of thing? So we have programs and services that are unique to the challenges of military life. Everything from financial support to emotional support and connection and that sort of thing for the families.
Which is huge, especially when you talk about the children, because every kid has a hard enough time making new friends and dealing with maybe bullies at school or different dynamics. Now, if they have to move several times, how do you see that affecting their self-esteem?
Sure. Actually, self-esteem is a factor. Grades can be a factor. And if you think about it, the military spouse is with the service member, and then all of a sudden the family unit splits, and now all of a sudden they're a single-parent household trying to manage everything, and especially in an expensive town like San Diego, that can be very, very stressful. As a matter of fact, some of our spouses have said, well, I don't share everything with you know, their service member that's deployed, because they want to keep their mind focused on their dangerous jobs.
Right,
And
they don't want to stress them out, so they're taking all that household burden.
Absolutely, and that's where we come in. As long as that's where we come in, the Armed Services YMCA. I was going to mention with our other nonprofit partners too, because there's so many other wonderful nonprofits out there that we partner with. So it's really not about us trying to do everything. We just need to partner with those who do other things well. So.
Well, especially here in San Diego, we've got tremendous support networks all over the place, and it's good you guys network together to then say, well, we got a resource here for you, we've got a resource there, and are you like kind of the first round assessment of what that family needs?
We're very blessed and very fortunate to have great relationships with the military commands, and so we do have a lot of impact and a lot of connection with the families, and we can help triage some of this. Of course, you can call Courage to Call through 211 and get connection there. Our programs and services focus on in-home clinical counseling, everything from PTSD, TBI, marital, anxiety, all these things for the families. We also have a family youth enrichment program for Camp Hero, Operation Hero, which is after-school care. Camp Hero is our military-focused style camp. And of course, we have been at the Navy Medical Center San Diego for 30 years now, with a location there that focuses on the wounded, injured, and ill. It could be a service member who is injured or wounded, or a child who has been born in the NICU, or a cancer patient, anything like this. So we're here to support in all these areas, either through the programs and services or what we like to call our gray area too. So one of our gray areas, I just have to share this, is a service member, spouse that came in, and her daughter just had brain surgery at the Navy Medical Center.
Oh my goodness.
And so the doctor said, please get a new mattress for your child for recovery. So what they did was they sold the queen size mattress and got a smaller mattress, except it was used, and there was mold in that mattress. And the hope was, if I sell my queen size mattress, I'll have some money for food. So we're able to call one of our donors, amazing company here in San Diego, and they supplied bedding, new mattresses for the family, and then we took care of the food side of the house too. So it was just amazing.
Wow.
So that's what I do love about San Diego, is San Diegans really wrap their arms around our service members.
They take care of each other, don't they?
Yeah,
absolutely. What an incredible story. Thank you for all that you guys are doing there at the YMCA Family Services. I encourage all our viewers to support you guys in any way that they can, and look up the site, get involved. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
Absolutely.
You. We'll be back with more Operation American Dream.
We have a winner! Johnny, you won! You won!
Grandma?
There are certain times in life when you need a neutral third party to call the shots.
I wasn't ready. I know, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't, you hear me?
Keep it fair. Choose Oakwood Escrow.
Welcome back. Kim Mitchell is an amazing American soldier who has an incredible story of her own that was an orphan from Vietnam time. And I am so excited to get to hear her story and bring her in today to share this. Kim, thank you so much.
It's an honor to be here.
Such an honor to meet you today. Your story is incredible. I know a lot of people have read and seen you on NBC and seen you on all the different shows, and you've been featured in People magazine. But today, I'm so excited for you to share a little bit of your background and your personal story, and then we're going to talk about your incredible heart for veterans.
Absolutely.
So tell me what happened to you as a baby.
Well, I was essentially, the Cliff Notes version is I was found along the side of the street, rescued by a South Vietnamese Marine, brought to an orphanage in Da Nang, adopted by a U.S. airman who was serving in Da Nang during the war, brought home in September of '72, raised as an all-American kid in northern Wisconsin on a farm.
You didn't know any different, right?
I didn't know any different because being 10 months old, raised in Wisconsin, I didn't know what life would have been like in Vietnam. So I grew up thinking like I was an American, and I acted like an American, and you know, I grew up eating ice cream and playing basketball, and I ended up knowing though that I had a life of service. So I applied to the U.S. Naval Academy and was accepted, and ended up serving 17 years in the Navy as a surface warfare officer, and got out in 2012 and co-founded a nonprofit called Dixon Center, and my passion to serve veterans and military families was there.
It's incredible. I mean, I know the Cliff Note version for you, but so many amazing key points in there that are so outstanding. So, you know, Mitchell, your last name, that was the soldier that brought you home.
That's
that
correct.
Found you at the orphanage. And what an incredible story I was able to read about the South Vietnam soldier that found you and actually carried you 40 miles
Yes.
to save you. I mean, that is just so incredible. But yet here you are, an American kid. You didn't know any different. You were raised with a wonderful family. They also adopted a brother for you. Is that right?
That's right.
So you had a brother, and you knew in your heart, though, I want to serve.
Absolutely. With my father being a retired Air Force, our family was very structured regarding the service to our country and the love for our country. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted that structure. I wanted the opportunity to serve, and I was fortunate enough to be afforded that opportunity to give back.
And the part of giving back that's so amazing about your story is 17 years in the Navy, and you were 3 years from your retirement, right?
That's correct.
And you made an incredible decision that could not have been easy. Tell me about that decision you made at the 17-year mark.
Well, the Navy had selected me to be an executive officer of a brand new DDG, but I knew that I could do more for our veterans and military families by resigning my commission and getting out, and that's what I did. The knowledge that I had working for the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Admiral Mullen, and working with communities nationwide, working with employers, educators, and healthcare providers, linking them to the needs of our service members, military families, and families of the fallen as they transition out. That was critical for me. I knew I could do more by getting out and continuing to serve that way.
And that is your passion now and what you're still carrying into your career. Because I want to tap into a little bit real quick, your heart for the needs for homeless veterans. Tell me about your heart for that. I know you're a big speaker on that.
Absolutely. With my current job right now, I'm working with the population of homeless veterans, and it's a life-changing event. Seeing a veteran come in off the streets, it could be a man or a woman, it could be all generations, Vietnam War, Gulf War, post 9/11, they are coming in broken. They have hit rock bottom. Many of them are addicted to substance abuse. Many of them have mental health issues from combat, from service. It could be post-traumatic stress or traumatic brain injury. But finding those services, those rehabilitation services, those mental health services, that case management, that's critical to get them clean and sober, to get them back on their feet and prepared for a job, get them the job training that they need, find meaningful employment.
Right.
And then finding employers that want to bring in these men and women who have experienced so much and have so much to offer for our veterans and their families. They absolutely do. They just need to be given a chance. They don't want pity. They just want their recognition of their potential, and they will show you. They'll show you that they can absolutely do anything. Just give them the chance and give them the opportunity. We'll find resources for them to get them the toolbox refilled and get them the tools that they need to survive on their own, to combat the issues that they may be dealing with. But then they're going to return home. They're going to return home to the community. They're going to return home to their families, and they're going to be successful.
They all deserve to come back to families and to have the care that they need.
Absolutely.
And I'm so honored that I got to talk to you today. I know you are absolutely passionate and a front runner for us nationally at speaking out against the homelessness for our veterans that so much deserve to have the help. The hand up, not the handout, right?
That is absolutely right.
Yeah, it's absolutely
the hand
it.
up.
Well, thank you so much, Kim, for your incredible story. Thank you for all the work that you're doing with the veterans and for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Hey, Craig Sewing here, your host of The American Dream. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. I want to invite you to engage in the conversation outside of the show. How do you do that? Visit us online and on social media. We have so much activity happening there, full interviews, resources, all kinds of cool stuff that you can engage with us and our conversation and help support the American dream, where we're combating all that negative stuff you see in the media. But don't forget, I also want to be your #1 consumer advocate, so anything we can help you with, finance, real estate, mortgage, tax planning, estate planning, even credit scoring, we have the resources and the relationships that we can help you. Visit us online, engage in the conversation on social media, and don't forget, we want to empower your American dream, so reach out if you ever need anything. Thank you so much for tuning into the show, and thank you so much for following us on social media and engaging in the conversation. Cheers to your American dream.
Welcome back to Operation American Dream. Veteran homeownership is such an important topic, as we've discussed before. I have got a real estate expert here in this category, Jackie Politano, broker of Ultimate Real Estate.
Yes.
Jackie, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is exciting to talk to you because you're local here. You've got a wonderful brokerage right here in Carlsbad, but you also have one in Temecula. So you're running a huge team in 2 different areas.
Yes, that is correct. So we've been in Temecula for about 3.5 years, and now we've just expanded to San Diego County. And I'm originally from San Diego, so it's, you know,
so this
it's
is home
easy,
for you.
Easy transition, yes,
So
absolutely.
I don't have to reiterate to you what a military town we are here.
Oh, yes.
And how close you are even to Oceanside, which has got such a tremendous amount of military community and families.
Absolutely. So I was actually born in Oceanside. So
perfect.
Right. I grew up. I'm not from a military family, but I grew up around it, and it's been a huge influence in my life.
Yeah, you've worked really close with a lot of VA clients.
Yes. So you know, I would say probably 50% of our business actually comes from active military, and we also have a lot of people that are. We also have a lot of vets that we help as well.
That's so. I know you don't like it when I say this, but
Yeah.
you're a relocation specialist. You really are.
No, it's fine. You can call me that.
You really
Absolutely.
are, and I know that
Yes.
you're known for that. So I want to touch on that a little bit.
Okay.
Tell me when you meet a new VA family, and you know they need to relocate, and what expertise do you bring in, and how do you kind of handhold them through that process?
Right. So, well, first of all, we have a lot of contacts in the lending profession, obviously, that we can connect them with the right lender to.
Super important.
Right. To help them along with the process. And they are so easy to get qualified. So they're really one of our favorite clients because of that. They just, show their BAH, and it's a really smooth transition and a really smooth transaction. So once we qualify them, obviously we go show them property and get them in their home, and we tell them that, hey, you can purchase a property with no money down.
Right.
Most of the time we can help them out with their closing costs as well, and they don't know that. They don't know that they can come in with no money, and they have such a gift and a privilege that we help educate them that they can use that program, the VA program, in order to purchase their home instead of wasting the money on rent and build their equity.
Absolutely. And with you being on the real estate side and being the voice for them, do you find that you have to educate the sellers more than you're educating your buyer on, like, no, please accept this VA offer? Do you come up against that?
We used to come up against that a lot, but now we do see the opposite side of it. We see a lot of people that want to help our military families, and they do accept our offers a little bit easier. And
that's awesome. I think that's been a big mindset change over the last few years, because it had been an obstacle in the past. And I think through education, shows like this, people out there in the community doing seminars, hopefully making a difference, that those sellers are saying, this is the least I can do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you specialize in both areas.
Yes.
So I'm sure you have a lot of referral business that comes in. Tell me about your favorite military clients, though, and what's that like for you? Do you love like when you see the young family, or do you like working with a VA buyer that maybe this is their third home? What do you love the most?
You know, we work with a lot of first-time VA buyers, honestly. So young families that just had the baby and coming to this area for the first time, not from here. And we have helped a lot relocate. And the thing that we love the most, too, about the VA buyers is that they're so fast, and they listen, and they get us all the information and all the documentation that we need.
They're trained in doing everything that they need to do, right?
Right. So as soon as, you know, we tell them, hey, go get this, go get that, we can get them in their houses pretty quickly because they listen and
makes it a lot easier, doesn't it?
Yes.
Better as a team. And so your team, do you help educate the real estate agents that you have in both of your teams? Do you help educate them on helping that veteran and
Yes, so actually
details?
we have a few military wives that work for us, so they can connect to our military clients a lot easily.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yes.
And I'm sure you can offer career opportunities for military that want to transition and maybe be in real estate?
Absolutely. We are actively recruiting, so we need that. Yes.
I think it's great. What a great career. They
Mm-hmm.
take their military background, they take their expertise, and now go help other military families have home ownership. It's
and
awesome.
talk about referrals. There's tons that come from that. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know that you were on House Hunters, so I want to just talk, you know, I have to like be a geek here a little
Okay,
bit.
that's fine.
You had a chance to be on House Hunters.
Yes.
Tell me about that experience.
Yes, I did. So it was an amazing experience, and I hate to admit, but so much of it was fake. I wish it wasn't, but it was so fun. You know, I got a random call, and I thought that it was fake. I didn't even believe that it was a real TV show, and they wanted to be in the Menifee area, and I said, why are you, doing it in Menifee? You need to go to Temecula, which is more well known in our wine country area. So yeah, it was a great experience, and I got to meet some really great people, and yeah.
How fun was that?
Yeah, it was really fun. I've never been on TV before, so it was.
Well, now we gave you an opportunity
yes.
again today.
Yes, thank you very much.
So thank you for being on the show today. And
Yes.
I think it's great if the community knows that you're there in your new office in Carlsbad,
Yes.
so that you're there to really help those veteran clients. I know you're a specialist in North County because you're from North County.
Right.
You can really help people find good homes in Oceanside. You know the schools, the area.
Right. So, like I said, I grew up in San Diego County, but I've been back and forth Riverside County my whole life. So we can find a fit for you. If some of those prices in San Diego are too high for you, we can get you out to the Riverside County area as well. And I have specialists in both areas that are ready to help.
Thank you for being on today.
Oh,
It was so good to meet you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I encourage everybody in the North County, if you want to reach out and have a VA expert, to reach out to Jackie and her team. We'll be back with more Operation American Dream.
Hey, Craig Sewing here, your host of The American Dream. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. I want to invite you to engage in the conversation outside of the show. How do you do that? Visit us online and on social media. We have so much activity happening there, full interviews, resources, all kinds of cool stuff that you can engage with us and our conversation and help support the American Dream, where we're combating all that negative stuff you see in the media. But don't forget, I also want to be your #1 consumer advocate, so anything we can help you with, finance, real estate, mortgage, tax planning, estate planning, even credit scoring, we have the resources and the relationships that we can help you. Visit us online, engage in the conversation on social media, and don't forget, we want to empower your American Dream, so reach out if you ever need anything. Thank you so much for tuning into the show, and thank you so much for following us on social media and engaging in the conversation. Cheers to your American Dream.
I have so much fun getting to be a part of this show and getting to host this show. We meet such great people in every episode. So don't forget to follow us on social media so that you can catch your favorite guests again, and make sure that you watch the next episode of Operation American Dream.